Hey there, everybody. I'm just getting set up again without the little intro thing because I haven't got a new one in place yet since I don't want to get copy claimed because YouTube content ID is a bit glitched in regards to my channel. Okay, all right, so that's open now. And let's do Rumble as well. And okay, it looks like everything's going live all right. All right. And welcome. Good morning, Summer Butterfly and Cookie Steve. Nice to see you. If I remember your time zone right, this is really early for you, Cookie Steve, but welcome. All right. All right, let's see. I was going to go ahead and do a little bit of the cone stuff. I got to run down and grab my breakfast because I don't want to be spending too long without food based off of what happened yesterday. I don't want to go too free association day. Give me just a minute. I'll be right back up. Okay, I am back up, and I have my big bowl of oatmeal for breakfast. I apologize, but I am going to snack on it occasionally. But the other reason I went down is because I remembered I was going to change over to zip tie for the connection. So I want a reasonably strong one. I'm not going to get super tiny ones. All right. Let's see if we can get this to work. And take the painter's tape off of this one here. Oh, I did see that Legal Vices was on Flashcast last night, though I haven't really had a chance to watch it. They were only into the just past the intro when it was time for me to call it a night. But when I checked the thing this morning, I saw that he was on there for a bit. So I'll have to catch that. And yeah, I think this carabiner is about shot. What do you folks think? I think that's barely holding on. All right, that's probably reasonably tight enough. And let's see. cheapy scissors cut off the plastic. Let's give it a shot. If not, there we go. Yeah, no problem there. Give me a second here and I'll catch up with chat. Ooh. All right. Good morning, Marmar. Nice to see you on. Okay, well, given this time of season here, it's not too bad if it's 45 minutes before the sun. Hello, Eric. Yeah, Eric Olson, nice to see you on. Yeah, it's going to get tossed in the recycle bin. Hey, Ashley, nice to see you on. I understand you won't be able to stay, but it's nice to see you here. All right, so I am going to take a minute or two to see if I can't update the, you can't see the mouse I'm doing. Anyway, update the location for the cones and the green so I don't have it having resistance. I'm not going to take too long on it. I just want to see if I can't improve it a little bit. And I also need to readjust the starting spot for the trauma because I don't normally have it in position because it blocks the walkway along here. All right. But we are definitely 100% going to get this through the setup today. Alrighty. So that's there. All right, so it's not in conflict with anything. And the next one is this one. So this one should actually be down here at least. All right. And this one, yep, it's this one here. That one, looks like it's wrapped around it a little bit. And all right, it's in there. Actually, yeah, okay. So this one. This one here should be the next one, so I'll put that one down there. And which one is this? Okay, this one actually should be probably over here somewhere. All right, so the next one is this one. I don't know how I got these so messed up when I was setting it up. So, okay, that one is free and clear now. So I'll set that one there. And the next one is this one. Okay, that one up here. Make sure it's not crossing over and past any of the others. And this one is this one here. Okay. Let's make sure we're free and clear. And next one here is that one. Let's see, it looks like it's crossing over one of the other ones. So let me. Okay, so that's two of them. Okay. All right, so that's free of any of the other ones. So we should be able to just put it there. And then the next one is wrapped around that pin. Okay. And so which one is this? It's this one. I think it's this one. Yep, it's that one. All right, so this one should be Wait. Gotta make sure I don't accidentally wrap them around each other as I reposition them, because that just make things worse. All right. So, okay. All right. So I think I've got this one that needs a little more wrap up. And do not snag another one. Okay. All right. I think I'll be good there. And let's see. I don't think I lost. Yeah, everything's feeding up through. Okay. So hopefully that'll be better. And so we don't get too much static going on here. We are just about ready to start. Thank you for your patience. I overslept a bit this morning. Catch up with chat real quick, and then I'll get started. Make sure I'm starting on the right color too, which is a good thing. But my guess is it's a green. All right. Well, Kumihimo Steve, since I post my times in the Eastern time zones and I say I live in Pennsylvania, I think that'll probably be fairly obvious to which one I'm in. But that's just me. But then again, as the narcissist says, it's really all about me. Okay, looks like I forgot to take that tab off last night or flag off. Okay. Yep, red or green is next. Not red. There is no red in this. I am not red-green colorblind. And let's pre-stage our timer. And we will get in gear. And yes, I did post the link to the origin of the cocoa story to describe why my wife says that when I have closed a bottle lid too tight, I have cocoaed it. And just be aware, the comic that it's linked to is a horrible comic that is not safe for work. And it discusses like anime tropes and the like. And yes, you do have to be a subscriber on locals to get to it. You can't just be on notifications. All right, something's stuck here. So I've screwed up something. Okay, so it's not that one. So not that one, no. Okay, it's the fourth one in. So I think that's this one. Yep. Okay. So why are you having it was sitting on, let's try another one, I think. All right, let's try this again. Okay. No resistance. That's much better. Okay. I am much, much happier with this now. Sorry it took so long to get it there. And I am hoping that fingers will be much more dexterous this morning. I can't guarantee it. All right, that was a bit short. All right, I'm going to double check. I do not see any hanging on the floor. I think I've got all of them. Given how yesterday went, I want to triple check on that. Gonna make the tail on this one extra long just in case one of them got pulled back slightly. And it isn't long enough to make it through the knots if I'm not careful. All right, that's 2. And 3. That one didn't go through right on 3, but it's only a single one. I'm going to do the 4th one. That'll lock it down. I have a bit of painter's tape stuck on the tip of my thumb, which is annoying, but it's off now. Right. And before I actually put the midpoint flag on, I am going to be triple sure that I have not missed one and it's hanging on the floor. So I'm going to walk back here. All right, looks like I've got all of them here. And okay. All right, now I'll put the flag on. Go. And midway point is on. Go. And it is in place. Nice clean cut. And let's pass it on through here. And here's a little flyaway. Let's give it a little spritz just to make sure. There we go. Hopefully that'll make this a little easier to tie. Okay. Thinking it's really dry here because it feels like it just dried out on me. So right before stream this morning, I was just having some anime tropes wandering through my head. And I was thinking of the one where it's like the big bad at the end of the series is fighting to take control or activate the end of the universe device, and all the good guys are like wasting themselves trying to stop him and seem to have no effect whatsoever. And something just struck me as funny, where having a series or whatnot where the big bad is some sort of Shoggoth-like monster, amorphous, creates tentacles all over the place, virtually indestructible. I seem to be catching on things. That's why. Got a little splinter on here. It's catching it. All right, so let's see. Let's pull it again, see if we can even up the tension. It looks like we're a little off, so I'm going to unroll and see if I can't even this out a little bit. Anyway, so the big bad monster wants to destroy the universe, has discovered there's a device that you can do it. It's kind of like a steampunk clockwork stone monolith thing the size of an asteroid. And there's like millions and millions of dials all over it. They all have to be moved into the right combination. And you can't like move them all at once. You got to move them separately, at a time to get them in place. So the monsters found it, or the big bad. He started working the dials. Everybody's fighting him. They're losing people right and left. And it doesn't look like there's anything they can do to stop the big bad. And then suddenly, an assistant approaches the lead general and says, "Sir, pull everybody back." The general says, "What? If we don't stop him now, we're all going to die. The universe will be ended. It'll all be for nothing." And the aide says, "No, sir, you don't understand. We did the calculations. By the time at the speed he's going, even multiple times faster than he's going now, to get to the right combination, it's going to be twice the length of the heat death of the universe. So you can let him go. He's never going to get there in time." Sorry, it just struck me as really funny that, you've got the end of the universe scenario, and it just takes too long. All right. And I think this is short enough. Let's do a drop behind and then up under 1 and over 2, under 3, over 4, under 5, over 6, under 7, over 8, under 9, over 10, under 11, over 12, under 13, over 14, under 15, over 16, under 17, over 18, and under 19. And then up there, move to the right rail. Just do a quick check that the basket weave looks right. Yes, it does. And take off the oldest one. There we go. So we are at 74, roughly the 3/4 point. I'm going to catch up the chat real quick. All right. All right, catching up here. We are still on daylight time on the East Coast, and I think somebody said it, the U.S. switches over November 5th. Well, that sounds like it's going to be a pretty decent dinner. Dinner here is a brisket that has been in the sous vide for a couple of days, so it should be, I believe tonight is when we're going to have it. It should be lovely and tasty and tender. Okay, just catching up here real quick. Anybody seeing the greetings and whatnot? I'll try and speak loud enough that everybody can hear me. And good morning, Gwen. It's nice to see you on this bright and shiny morning. Well, it's kind of bright. It's like semi-overcast where I'm at. Hey, Pamela Wissenbach, welcome to the stream. I don't think I've seen your username before in the chat, so welcome. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. I am about 3/4 of the way through the setup, and the warping frame I'm using is something of mostly my own design. I saw something online, and I figured, hey, I can build something similar to that. It worked kind of okay with me using binder clips for the guide holes, but it wasn't ideal. So I went ahead and machined up some extra parts, put some magnets in them. It's actually working pretty good. Thank you very much, Joe Choi. It's nice to see you on, and I appreciate the like. Thank you very much. All right, so ready for yellow next. And that'll put us at 76, which is definitely past the halfway point. Or not halfway, 3/4 point. Just grabbing another bite of breakfast real quick. All right. And I think I'm going to mist them like every time I start a new one for at least several until it feels like I've got a bit on the wet side, because it seems to be dry enough that I'm not over soaking them. Though I should probably put down a towel or something. Not sure I got any up here, but oh well. Brain dead. I'm thinking of something. Oh, after this one, I will have 12 more sets to do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, when I get close to the end, I'll or 7. Okay, so I'm only like 3 short of the tape, so I don't worry about it then. All right, so yellow is next. And I am going to go even those up here. These ones have a little bit of resistance, but I think that's just because stuff got lifted up a little bit. That one doesn't want to. Oh, why is that one having a problem? It's having a problem because the one underneath got wrapped around the base of the cone, and when it was trying to go, it was lifting it up. Okay, that was the only one that was having a problem. Listen to your equipment. Metaphorically speaking, it will tell you things. But when it starts telling you to miralax your neighbor's cat, stop listening to it. It's rude to the neighbor and mean to the cat. Though, as long as you're careful on the dosage, it shouldn't bother the cat too much. Since we've had to do that for one of our cats. Apparently, I don't know if he's not drinking enough water or whatever, but he has issues. He has lots of issues. He's the cat we have that seems to have dog software running in his brain. He has kind of fixated on me as when I'm in my computer chair, my lap is the perfect place to be. Though sometimes when we're not in the living room, he's terrified of me moving. I'm not sure 100% why, though he's had some other issues. He's also the one that managed to break all of the metatarsals in his rear leg. So we had to take him to an orthopedic vet and have the bones pinned back together with 4mm titanium rods. That was expensive. But he healed up really well, and he doesn't show any signs that he's having any discomfort in moving. It's been several years. He's very active. He runs around. He likes jumping up on things. So we think he's feeling okay. And he's still kind of dumb as a box of rocks. But it's easy to make him happy, and so that's what we do. He sits in my lap. I give him scritches until he drools, and then he gets bored and gets up and jumps down. The problem is when he decides to fight with the other cat, so we try and make sure that the other cat that he has issues with, which is the one that comes up here, has ways to stay away from him and avoid problems. And my wife just let him up. Which for setup streams is not a good idea. Not because he moves stuff around, but because he tries to walk in front of me while I'm walking back and forth, and I don't want him to get hurt. I apologize for the random camera movements you're going to get for a while. after I set this one up, I'm going to see if I can convince him to rest on the bed. That's where he usually likes to hang out, up when he's up here. That should be long enough. And underneath, and over 2, under 3, over 4, under 5, over 6, under 7, over 8, under 9, over 10, under 11, over 12, under 13, over 14, under 15, over 16, under 17, over 18, and under 19. All right, let's get it past the, oops, did I? Yes, crap. Oh, for a second there, I thought I'd had one of the flags come loose. All right, so we're good here. Let's bring that up to even. All right, we are on the right spots. And let's make Cerberus happy. Hopefully he will lay down and stay there for a while. Let me catch up with chat. Come on, sir.
Is he bothering you?
When I'm doing the setups, I'm walking back and forth. It's a hazard to him.
Okay.
So.
Let me see if I can get him on the bed.
I just put him on. He jumped off.
Oh.
But if you want to, just be aware you may be on camera for a little bit.
No, it's okay.
Sip. There, I'll. Catch up on chat real quick here. Okay, let's see. Coffee, breakfast, all right. Yeah, I just need to get a towel up here for that. And Don, welcome to the stream. Good morning, good morning.
You need a towel?
I'm misting the silk cones so that they don't have as much static. I've been like mopping it up with my socks. Yes, indeed, I am. Good morning, Philip Martin. Nice to see you on. Yeah, I don't want to be mean to cats. That is indeed what I am doing. All right, let's see. Yep, Tama is the name for the weights. And clicky things works for me too.
Leaving you.
Thank you, dear.
You have 2 sizes.
Well, it's should be 24 at this point, but it's 12 braiding processes. Yes, Kitty is saying hi. The kitty's name is Cerberus, and we call him Serby for short because he has a spot. And according to the legend, Cerberus, as the three-headed giant dog guardian of the gates of Hades, since it's Greek, his name I think actually is close to Kerberos or something like that, which is supposed to be spot in Greek. But I could be wrong on that, but that's why we call him that. Yes, that is indeed my lovely wife. If he would stay on camera and not like try and rub up against me as I'm walking back and forth, that would be perfectly fine. Hello, Eric Olson. Or did I greet you earlier? I may have greeted you earlier. I'm sorry, my memory is not that great this moment. Okay, so we are doing green next. And hopefully Mr. Cerberus will stay out of the way. If he does not, I will have to carry him downstairs, which he will not like. All right. Pre-staging the tum. And he just knocked over the spray bottle. All right. I don't know if you can see that, but he tried to put himself between my legs as I was about ready to close up the gap. I think he's going to have to go downstairs. I am sorry about that. Say goodbye to everybody, Mr. Cerberus. DJ, you had several hilarious historians. Tell us what Okay, I am back up, and Mr. Cerberus is in his favorite downstairs window shelf. We have the add-on cat resting spot window shelf thing additions. Sorry, brainy thing not working too good. Torrens, strong like typewriter, smart like ox. Or smart like tractor, sorry. Catching up real quick on the chat. And thank you very much, Gwen. Again, Gwen has a good reminder. If you like the channel and you want to help it spread and grow and show up in the algorithm, please like, share, and subscribe. As they say, do all the YouTube things. Yep, that is nice. All right. Yep, that seems very responsible. Okay. Well, in that case, it looks like I am correct, or the story that I was told was correct, and we did pick a good name for him. I'm sorry to hear that. I am sorry to hear that. Mischief is a good name for a cat. All right. I think I'm good here. One of the reasons why Cerberus is actually allowed up here normally is because he does not go after the threads or the silk or anything like that. Because we don't want to have somebody chew a bunch of silk and then have to take him to the hospital or the vet. Okay, all right, so I just did yellow. Green is next. And I don't know if it's because I'm gaining weight or losing weight, but I'm having a hard time keeping my t-shirts tucked in, which is annoying. I don't know if it's because I'm not getting shirts that are long enough or what, but I'm hoping if I keep losing weight or continue to lose more weight or whatever, because I haven't been as great as of late, that I will resolve that issue and clothes will be in better matching tailoring. And one. And not two. Not three. And not four. Thank you. Go ahead and get this. Well, even with the cat intrusions, we have definitely doing a better start off than we did yesterday. I haven't had to retie the same knot like 3 times. And even if I am running a bit slow, I got enough time scheduled for this stream to actually get everything done. So I will be happy about that. And pass that on through. There we go. But for the person, I don't remember who was wondering about the ability to add more thread on here. The thread that is on here is kind of very flat at the moment, and it will be kind of squished together a bit more, providing me with a bit more room. I have done a previous 100 Tama braid on this size D-ring before, so I know it will work. And I'm using the same number of threads, and the threads are the same size. So, and I'm not going to mention any details, but I did want to say that it's been rather heartwarming, all the behind-the-scenes support that I've been getting in trying to do these braiding streams and whatnot. While there was, something relatively recent, there have been other things over time that have let me know that people do enjoy what it is I'm doing and are willing to help me keep doing it and share it with more people. So it just, oops, knocked the scissors down. I just wanted to say a generic thanks to those people, and I'm not mentioning any names because I don't know if they want their names mentioned, but I don't think I'd be near where I am now if it weren't for them, as well as the people who have subscribed and joined the channel and help let YouTube and whatnot know that they like what I do. And hopefully I will be able to keep doing it for a great amount of time to come. I also realize people will come and go. Not everybody will watch all the streams. Some people will, see it once or twice and then never see it again. And others will watch regularly and whatnot. But everybody is appreciated for being here as long as they want to be here. And I hope I will be able to provide a consistent, reliable source for information on this. And hopefully at least be moderately entertaining enough that I'm not too boring to watch. All right, so under 2, or over 2, okay, under 3, over 4, under 5, over 6, under 7, over 8, under 9, over 10, under 11, over 12, under 13, over 14, under 15, over 16, under 17, over 18, under 19, and over 20. Starting to get kind of long and somewhat tedious doing all that. All right, so let's go ahead and pull this one up. There we go. And it's where it's supposed to be on the pins. So let's go ahead and take off the oldest one. Actually, at this point, let's take off the 2 oldest ones on this one and the one on the top. I think we only really need 1 flag at this point. It's not moving freely once it gets set through there. Even the most recent one. So they should be stable enough that it's not really an issue. And the less of them I have in the way, the easier it is. Okay, so we are ready for yellow next. Gonna squeeze this over a little bit more. There we go. And get the knocked over water bottle. Might as well put it up there. I forgot to catch up on chat. Give me a second here. I'll do that before I start the next one. Okay, let me catch up with chat here. I think I've gotten back up enough. Okay. Okay. Birds are nice. When I was growing up, we had a parakeet. We had for, I think, about 15 years or 10 years. I don't remember the exact amount of time. I was very young when we got it. And I think it passed away when I was like about 16 or so. I've had a couple of snakes since then, but since we got the cats, I didn't think it was fair to get any more snakes. So, and the last one passed away about 10 years or 8 years ago, something like that. And let's see. Yeah, I would talk to whoever you have for doing hand therapy, because depending on what you're doing, it may or may not help. I know that some people, the types of exercises they do, this would be helpful in the Maridai. Others it wouldn't. But yeah, I'm not a doctor, so I would definitely say talk to the people who would know. So, oh yes, they are very inquisitive. Also, I don't seem to have any arthritis developing that I can tell. I did potentially have, like a couple of years back, some soreness with a couple of joints, but I'm 55 and these are my hands, and I can do weird things with them that uh, and I don't have any persistent pain or discomfort in my hands. So I consider myself very fortunate, but it also may be doing this stuff repeatedly over my life to keep them limber and active. But I also know that if you don't do it right, you can actually make it worse. Um, oh, I am so sorry, Erica. Sorry, I know I'm way behind on chat. Oh, hey, I just noticed that in StreamYard, I've got timestamps for the chats, which I know you don't have in YouTube. Still catching up here. Good morning, Aunt Mimi. I'm doing actually rather good this morning. I'm alert, I'm awake, I'm having fun, and I should be um, able to get the setup finished on this stream. Hey, nice to see you, Chris. And yeah, anytime you need to jump out, no worries. Okay. Practice, experience, and just kind of repetition of the skill sets needed to learn. I am so sorry. Anytime you need to jump out, that's obviously not an issue. Um, I, you have my sincerest sympathy to you and your husband, and what I just don't know what to say other than I uh, hope that you're able to deal with this in the way that's best for you both. I'm sorry to hear that, Don. Um, Again, not a doctor, but I hope that if they do think that this is a useful thing for you, you will be able to do it and enjoy it. All right, put the scissors up where they're supposed to be, and I'm doing yellow next. All right, restage their comma. And I'm about of the ones I've set up here already to make it a little easier. Well, not to make it a little easier, it just happened to make it easier. I had to have a place to put them. I didn't have a spot to set them where they were with the rest of them. So, all righty. And a couple wraps around the finger to make sure I don't have any of them pull out. It's nice that both of them are pulling freely, and I don't have to worry about them snagging. Or they don't. They may still snag, and I should be aware of that, but they don't seem to be doing it. So I don't have to spend a lot of extra time dealing with that. And so, as somebody who did the, designing on the plastic guide parts for this, I have to say that I am 1000% satisfied with how it's working out. It just takes a little bit of experience in setting it up and making sure that you don't accidentally cross the cones over in the wrong spots. it should work so that I can do more than 2 colors on non-pickup braids, which I am also looking forward to doing soon, because I am really, really enjoying braiding with silk. And I forgot to put the flag on, but that's okay because my tensioning was a bit uneven. Doesn't take too much to walk back. And there we go. And I admit, I am a bit curious as to how well I didn't have the scissors held just right for the nice clean cut. Second one worked okay though. But yeah, you gotta have pressure on your hand a certain way so that it cuts clean and it doesn't slide over the threads instead. I just realized I haven't done a check on this setup to make sure that my midway flag is actually at the midpoint. So I'm going to do that on this one just as a curiosity thing. I realize you folks won't be able to see it, but I admit I am wondering how good I did on it. Not that I'm going to be able to do much about this going forward, because I'm not going to unroll them all and then realign them for the length. I think they're going to be more than close enough that I can get at least 3 iterations to braid, and I am shooting for 4, but I don't think it'll be an issue. There we go. And so instead of actually going up at the moment, I'm going to just quickly walk back here and grab the other end and see if the midpoint is the midpoint. And it's a little off, but we're talking like maybe 3 or 4 inches. And I'm happy with that. So I should have double checked on the first one, but distractions and whatnot. And I trusted my tape measure. But having been in quality, I should know that I should never trust anything. Because you can always make mistakes. You can misread something, misremember something. And if there's any question, check it again. All right, so that looks like a good spot for the Oryx head knot on this one. And all right. So all right, that should be long enough. And drop it behind, bring it up under the first one, and over 2, under 3, over 4, under 5, over 6, under 7, over 8, under 9, over 10, under 11, over 12, under 13, over 14, under 15, over 16, under 17, over 18, under 19, and over 20. All right, let's bring this up even. Looks good. Tear off the older one. There we go. All right, so we are at 80. We have 20 left to go. There we go. And let me catch up on chat real quick. Sorry to hear that. Hopefully work is not too stressful. Yep, measure twice. Okay. Alrighty. We are... Oh, I was looking at the analytics for the last stream from last night. Give me a second here. Apparently somebody unsubscribed in the middle of it. So apparently my free association streams are at least annoying to somebody. But as Nick Ricada has said, I'm just me. Being anybody else for such extended periods of time would be exhausting. And I just don't have that energy level. All right, walking it back here. It's doing pretty good. Not overly staticky separation. So I have 11 more windings I'm going to do, though the last 2 will be single tama instead of double tama. And those are actually a little easier because I don't have to put flags on them, because I take both ends and tie it off onto a single tama, but I also only draw 6 of those rather than 12. So it winds up being the same width as the others, but instead of being tied to a tama on the other end, it's tied back to itself for the same width. I don't know if my explanation sounds very good, but it works. I can't tell the difference once I'm a couple moves in. There we go. Knots are tied off. And walk it back here. It's feeling good, not twisty. Let's put the flag on. Flag on, flag off. Alrighty. And part of the reason why this end is a bit longer than the rest is I'm cutting it just a little bit longer just to give myself a little flexibility. So there we go. And pass it on through here. And I'm definitely going to see if I can't take maybe the last setup streams videos and maybe this one might be better with this one because I'm a little more consistent with it, and colors have a nice contrast. Danny's braid looks nice, but it's not as much of a it's not as strong of a contrast, and that might be contrasting might be better for the intro. But yeah, take the setup streams and make a time lapse out of them to have as my intro and exit. Have to think about that, figure out how I'm going to do it. I know there's an online video service where you can upload your video and designate like a window out of it that you want it to clip out as its own video. All right, that looks good there. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to miss it again. But anyway, once you designate it, then what it'll do is it will take your video, clip out the window that you've given it, and give you back the file when you're done. And the only thing is that the free version is heavily watermarked, and for a one-off, I wouldn't necessarily have a problem with that. I just got to figure out if it's worth it for the fee for essentially paying for an unwatermarked version, which I don't have a problem in general. It's just a question of my particular budget and whether or not it's worth that. I will say that it looks like so far monetization is going to be roughly paying for my StreamYard subscription, which is nice because that means that's not a drain again, and I'm actually getting closer to the break-even point for doing this. Because unfortunately, my the StreamYard level I have to be able to stream in 1080p, which I think for what I'm doing really needs to be that way, so you folks can see the fine detail. That's like $50 a month, and I can store like 50 hours of video on StreamYard, so I got to make sure and download that regularly so it doesn't hit the limit there. So in addition to YouTube, yes, I do have a local backup for everything. Though admittedly it's only on one hard drive at the moment. Don't know if I want to set up a secondary repository in the garage, or if I need to have something further away. But I don't think I'm going to have a in-house destruction and YouTube banning me simultaneously, but you never know. But the relative amount is why I'm not worried too much about it at the moment, even though with IT work that I've done, it's still it's like a irritating itch at the back of the skull. I know I really should do something else, but it's expensive to do so. For like a cloud backup thing for the amount of data I'm dealing with in something in addition to YouTube. But YouTube is capricious. I also am doing it on Rumble, so I think I have a second archive there, repository there, so that might be worth it. All right, let me catch up on chat real quick. I am sorry to hear that. As Megan Fox says, YouTube is asshole. I have not actually started braiding per se. What I am doing is, this is the way the braid pattern on this works. I am setting up the tama. So I am pulling the silk off the cones, 12 threads at a time, and I'm tying each end onto a tama through the D-ring, and then I'm working it into where the starting point on the braid will be. So this is just prior to the start of the braid. I have about 10 or 11 more warping up tamas to do, and then I will be ready for the start of the braid. You could kind of say I'm braiding it in at the start here, but yeah. Yep, that's a perfect way to put it, Ashley. Admittedly, we're far away, but I'm pretty sure I can say pretty much everybody here is wishing you well and support for how to get through this. All right. Yellow. is next. And I'm running out of water. I'll have to refill that. Okay. Couple wraps around the finger. Walking it back. It's feeding nice and cleanly. And I hear a cat wanting to get through a door, but I'm going to be staying up here until I am done. I don't want Mr. Cerberus to come back up here until I'm done. Also, when I'm done, I will probably let him up here and lay down on the bed so he can hop on and get his switches he likes to do. Go. And if I wasn't worried about his safety, I wouldn't mind if he was up here while I was doing this. The other potential downside is at times he's been up here when I've been just braiding at the chair, and he has decided that he needs to climb me. And he is a fairly substantial cat. He's 16 and a half pounds. And he there we go. He uses full traction climbing rather than jumping up into a lap. So when he tries to do that, it's very painful for me. So I prefer he not do that. But it's hard to explain to a cat exactly why you're having a problem with what they're doing. And while some people say you can't train cats, I think you can, but you just have to be careful exactly what it is that they're going to pick up from you trying to train them. Because some things it's like, I'm not going to bother with that. Others it's like, oh, if I do this, I'll get that. Which is why they get really good at knowing exactly what time you're supposed to feed them. And if you're not doing it, they get upset. There was a story of a author who was writing a novel where he was getting up like 5:30 in the morning to get a good day's writing in. He got a kitten, and for like the first 6 weeks he had the kitten. The kitten would come in and like sit on top of his the monitor on his computer. This was back with the old CRT monitor days. And after the 6 weeks, he finished up the book and was deciding he was going to take a nice day to sleep in and relax. And the cat let him know it was 5:30. He needed to be up and he needed to be at the computer. So, and that cat apparently for its entire life decided that that's the time that people got up and they needed to go directly to the computer and sit there for a while and keep the monitor on so it'd be a nice warm spot for the cat to sit. And the cat got very unhappy when he would not do that. Looks like I got somebody else on. Let me keep this in place and then I'll catch up with chat. And okay, good. I did not screw up the color selection. It is supposed to be yellow next. All right. And this one needs a bit of an unroll. Actually, I should probably unroll some more of these because when I pull them aside to do the over-unders, weaving it in, some of them hit the rail, and so I can't pull it that far back, and it makes it hard if I can't get it entirely out of the way of the green ones below. All right. It's not as bad on the back end. They don't have as far to go, but I should still probably drop them a little bit. Realize you folks can't see it because the camera's in a different spot than it normally is, so you can see the warping frame I'm working from. All right, so behind and under the first one, and then over 2, under 3, over 4, under 5, over 6, under 7, over 8, under 9, over 10, under 11, over 12, under 13, over 14, under 15, over 16, under 17, over 18, under 19, over 20, and under 21. Which means we still can't buy alcohol yet. And I think now in the state I'm in, you can't buy cigarettes either, or tobacco products. Speaking of age-restricted sales, after I catch up with the chat, I'm going to wait another Tales from 7-Eleven days. All right. And catching up here. Hello, Laura. Welcome to the stream. I'm not sure if I've seen your username before. If this is your first time, welcome, welcome. If there is anything you have any questions on, I'm happy to answer them. That's a big portion of what I do here. So feel free, if anything doesn't make sense or you want to know, I'm happy to answer it. Indeed. I'm glad we're able to help, at least in some small way. All right, so we are at 84 tama. We have 16 left to go. Yes, we are at 84. Okay. All right, so we are at 84. This is the same amount of tama on the last 2 braids I made. No, the last 3 blades. 3 braids. Ian's, Rob's, and Danny's were all 84 tama. And Nick Riqueda's was also 100 because I wasn't really able to get the design fit anything narrower than that. All right. And we are doing green next. Let's go ahead and add a little bit of water here so I can mist properly. And as per Gwen's question the other day, this is actually distilled water I'm adding, so. I will remember for the future that I should be using distilled water, especially for something I'm going to regularly do on here. I don't want to get too much mineral buildup on the silk. Not that that's likely to happen, but hey, better safe than sorry. Okay, so I just did yellow, so green is next. Let's pre-stage some tama. There's that one there. And this one here. And pick up the scissors so I don't step on them, because that would be bad. Green is next. I'm going to do a quick mist on the ends there. Okay. Walking back nice and easily. Being able to just walk back is so much nicer and so much less time than what I was doing originally. I had 2 posts that I would clamp down, one on the Takadai and one on a chair, and those would be the endpoints. And I would walk around with a single comb, unwinding it and wrapping it around until I had like 12 loops around. And I would take the spot I was going to cut it apart and put a drop of super glue on each side of where the cut would be so that the threads would maintain tension. But because I was walking around pulling inconsistently because I'm a human and not a machine, I would wind up with tension differences on almost every single one. And then I would get them tied off on the tama and work them. I put them in the braid setup. And this is a lot easier and a lot faster. Because originally, the first one I did with the 100 tama took me about 20 plus hours to do just the setup. And this is going to be less than 10, I believe. So I am very happy that it is not going to take anywhere near 20 hours for setup. And just to let people know, I will be doing more Maridai content relatively soon. I'm just kind of pushing on this because I'm trying to get a specific braid done by a convention I'm going to in January. But I didn't want to wait on Jeff's braid if I didn't have to. So I'm doing Jeff's braid here. Then I'm going to do hopefully one for Clarie Cassan if I can get a design that he's happy with. And I will be able to give to him in person at the convention. And no, I'm not trying to save shipping there. Shipping this to Utah from here would not be all that expensive. And the hotel is like $90 a night. But I haven't been to convention in a long time, and I'd like to be able to start going again. I had a very bad experience at Icon in Long Island that made me absolutely not want to have anything to do with conventions of any type for probably 15 years. And that's annoying because I like the type of stuff that goes on at conventions. I just had such a horribly embarrassing experience that was extremely frustrating, where essentially I felt like I'd done months of activity for nothing. I'll probably relate that story sometime down the road, but not today. Anyway, which reminds me that I promised I was going to. This one has large head not set up. I need to take that off so I can roll it up. There we go. So anyway, the story I was going to relate from the days of 7-Eleven is where I was living in Idaho at the time. After 2 a.m., you could not sell alcohol until like 6 or 7 a.m. And you could sell beer and wine at 7-Elevens in Idaho at the time. So I think it was like one Saturday night or something like that. I was working graveyard shift, and I'd locked up all the alcohol sales about half an hour earlier. So this was about 2:30 a.m. And I had a guy open the door lock, which is not a big deal. It was basically just a piece of sheet metal that slid over a bar in the door frame, so that you couldn't pull the door open without taking it off. But all you had to do to take it off was just lift it off. So it was a fairly effective ultra drunk lock, but not so much for anybody who wasn't drunk. So a guy came in, went back, opened pulled off the lock, opened the cooler door, grabbed like a 12-pack, brought it out, set up on the counter, said, I'd like this. And I said, I can't sell it. It's after 2 a.m. No alcohol sales after that. And he just started putting like an extra 5, another 10 in cash on the counter. And I think, oops, I did not. Okay. I grabbed part of another one. Okay, I think that's it. So under 1, over 2, under 3, over 4, under 5, over 6, under 7, over 8, under 9, over 10, under 11, over 12, under 13, over 14, under 15, over 16, under 17, over 18, under 19, over 20, under 21, and over 22. There we go. And let's pull this one up where it's supposed to be. Put it on proper rail. It's a little long on the left, but I think I'm okay there. And even up just a little bit more and pull off the old flag. So anyway, I think by the time all was said and done, there was somewhere between $150 and $200 in cash sitting on the counter for a 12-pack of beer that it was an 18-pack. Anyway, it was like somewhere on the order of like a $12 purchase or less. This was like in 1991 or so. And it's like, I just can't do it. And anyway, the guy wound up calling me an idiot, a couple of names, grabbed the cash and walked out. And, you know, somebody may actually be that desperate for beer, but I figured once he passed like $20 over, he was a alcohol control board or whatever agent, and he was trying to do a sting or whatever to, you know, document an illegal sale or something like that, because I cannot see any reason anybody could be that desperate that in 1990 they'd pay $200 for a 12 or 18 pack of beer. Anyway, let's see. Catching up on chat real quick here. The tamas are needed because they provide tension for the braid. With the Maradai, you have a counterweight that provides countervailing tension, and you can make your braid looser or tighter weave by varying those two ratios. This provides the tension on one end, and the weights provide the tension on the other end. If you did not have them, you would not be able to get a consistent, even braiding motion going on here. Yeah, I'm just talking about the alcohol sales. All right, so yes, indeed. I'm trying to get to where I can do more braids over a less period of time. I don't think so, mainly because there's no real easy way to get the conduction along the surface of the plastic. I would need to essentially have some sort of conductive lines along the surface of the plastic. I'm in eastern Pennsylvania. Yeah, I realize a lot of that may be personal, and some of it was probably due to misunderstanding, but it really, really made me unhappy with the thought of going to conventions for a while. Yes, indeed. And I do remember Circle Ks because where I was in Idaho at the time, there were also Circle Ks. Okay, that's interesting to know. But yeah, in Idaho, I'm pretty sure they were allowed to do that at the time, as long as they didn't try and force you. I had one guy that wanted to buy alcohol, and I wasn't willing to do it, and I was at the front of the store because the floors were being done, and probably was not the best situational awareness at the time because he punched me in the back of the head and ran off. And that guy, I'm pretty sure, just wanted the beer. All right, so yellow is next. Okay. The other frustrating thing with handling sales like that is the laws where I was in regards to two-party sales. Basically, they said if you have any suspicion it's a two-party sale, you can't do it. And there were things where it probably was not a two-party sale, but just because I had a suspicion, I was not willing to do it, because explaining it in front of a judge is not really something that's worth doing, because they're not going to really want to believe you, especially watching all this court stuff that I've been doing in the past few years. Yeah, I'm not going to trust a judge or the prosecutor's willingness to believe what I believe about something at all ever again. That way lies madness, and probably some bars, and not the drinking kind. Okay, yellow is next, and this is my last one I've staged up here. So I'll either have to grab them from the back as I set up, or I'll have to move some forward. I might do the move some forward. I'll have to think about it. I think I've got enough moisture on it now. It only needs like a little refresher at the start of each one. They're doing pretty good at not pulling apart. So while I'm a little disappointed at the expense that I had to do to get enough cones of silk, I realize it's going to prove out long term where it's not a super expense, but it is kind of front loading my cost. But I'm really happy with how it makes it so much easier to do this. And I realize I could also do like regular spools of thread with the same method. Just have to make sure that the spools are don't have the little catch on the top when they're pulling off, or possibly instead of the upright ones have like a 90-degree where they can hang off, so they just unroll normally. But I think this, even without having to buy giant cones like I've been doing, it's a reasonably sound and effective idea for being able to warp up braids using threads rather than like embroidery floss. And once you're set up, you can keep your costs potentially down. I haven't really done why'd I put it there? I want it on this side. Let's put it together a bit more. There we go. Though I haven't done a look at the expense for threads, but you would be able to do regular silk threads on spools. You would be able to do cotton, and I think you can get other fibers on sewing thread weights and do it this way. And I think not having them all twisted potentially would make for like glossier braid looks if that's something you're trying for. You'd also be able to do like rayon and other things as well. Stuff shinier threads than you get with silk. Yeah, I have to think about it. Depending on whether or not you want to use synthetic or natural fibers. All right, there's two. And I'm still hearing a cat clawing at a door. Probably once upstairs. 3. And yeah. So I'm not really pulling that one all that even, but oh well. I don't think I have enough difference to make a difference. That's one of the phrases. I don't remember exactly where, but as far as mathematics and engineering and whatnot, do you have enough of a difference to make a difference?
I'm sure it's somebody's famous catchphrase, but I do like it as far as the concept of, yeah, your numbers don't you aren't exactly where you need to be, but is it enough of a problem that it's going to interfere with what you want to do with it? Which in machining, tolerances are a way that inexperienced engineers can really drive up costs. Because the tighter the tolerance you call for in your drawing, the more expensive it's going to be to make the part. So if you only need like plus or minus 15 thou to get your part to work in all the situations you need it, calling out for plus or minus 3 thou or 1 thou or 5/10 is just going to drive up your costs, as they have to spend a lot more time making sure that their machines can be able to do it. You have to have higher end machines that can hold those tolerances. And yeah, I remember when we got a part for a tractor company that they make farm equipment. And it was basically just a pin that you would stick in between an equipment and a trailer to help lock it in place. It was just kind of like a drop-in pin. And then they'd put something over it so it wouldn't pop out. And all it was doing was, it was a pivot point, and it was plus or minus some ridiculous, like a 1/16 of an inch, because all it needed to do was fit in and be relatively round. And those were really easy to make. We made them very quickly, and they didn't look all that high quality, but they were well within the requirements of the manufacturer. And that's really all that matters. They did their job, and they did their job well. And yeah, I know I didn't count there. I'm sorry. But I was talking. Talking with the talky mouth. Okay. And I believe we are at 88. I got that one off. Just do a quick check count here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44. We are at 88. We have 12 tama left to go. And let me catch up on chat real quick. I'm not sure, but the misting seems to be working reasonably well. I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks, Erica. That, I think, is a bit extreme. But usually, I mean, I've had ones where it's like, a 17 or 18-year-old kid with their parents, or somebody who says that they're their parents, and they're going through, and there's other stuff that goes on that it's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that their kid's asking them for it. And on those types of things, it's just easier if they just don't have I mean, it's not that hard for them to do it. I don't know. It was frustrating. Depends on the state you're in and how they define two-party sales and how much of a stickler / jerk the prosecutors are. Yeah. I think in those cases, if the person in question is actually legal, they just don't have ID. That might, I think it's more a liability for the vendor as opposed to the purchaser. Oh yeah, that's a clear, easy call to make there. Yeah, if I remember right, Arizona driver's licenses didn't have pictures and were also good for like 20 years. So we, at least one of the places I was at, we weren't allowed to take that ID. I also worked at a 7-Eleven that did not allow us to take any ID other than the state driver's license for alcohol. We weren't allowed to take passports or anything like that, even though, yes, they are legal ID and whatnot, but that was a store policy set by the franchisee that I was working for. Oh, wow. That might have been interesting to watch, but I'm glad I wasn't involved with that. Yeah. Conflicts between engineers and machinists definitely be an issue. And welcome back on, Chaz. It's good to see you on. I recognize the user icon. And we're doing pretty good. We're up about 23, 24 people watching. All right. Let's see. New comments here. Yeah, understood. And again, sometimes it just you're in a situation where you really can't do it. I mean, I've worked at places that had like the ID book for all 50 states and stuff like that, and military ID. And I've also worked at places where it's like, if it's not the state ID, we don't take it. They also it was cash only, no other they did no other forms of transactions. You couldn't do a card, you couldn't do check, it just cash only. All right. So I just did yellow, so green is next. Let's presage our Tama. I don't want to get too distracted or I still won't get done, even though I am very, very close. And green was next. Yes, green was next. Okay. And a couple wraps around the finger. Let's walk it back. That's coming along nicely. Yeah, my first time trying the warping frame without getting the silk cones, I wrapped them around spools, and it was a fight every single time to walk back the threads. I had to like keep jiggling it just so they pop around the edges of the spools. I even like cut the one side entirely off of the spools, and it would still try and snag, and it was really annoying. And there we go. Off the side. And walking it back. All right, I'm just about to where I need to cut that. Just a few more flags. And there we go. Flag is in place. And walking it back. There we go. And nice clean cut. which means I held the skizzers correctly. Oh, I showed a fairly wholesome short to my roommate and my wife. They both loved it. There is I think it's primarily a TikTok creator, but she also has a YouTube channel. I think Alana Fine Woman. She does shorts that start out another restaurant story. She does all the parts herself with like different wigs and whatnot, and different restaurant interactions with some patrons that are like clueless, obnoxious, frustrating, and whatnot. But she occasionally does some ones where they're nice transactions for everybody involved. And the one in question that I showed, the patron wanted the check split because her dining companion, aka her son, wanted to pay for his own meal, and he had been saving up his allowance to do it, and that was the day. And so the waitress is happy to do that. Comes back, has the bill, he pays cash. His mom says, "Don't forget to tip." And the kid hands her a Pokemon card. And he says, "Yeah, it's a Growlithe. It's good to have a fire type in your party when you're just starting out." And the waitress says, "I hope you realize I'm keeping this forever." It was just really cute. But yeah, if you like those types of shorts, Alana Fine Woman has been a one I've been watching a few of lately, and they're pretty good in my estimation. There we go. And go behind here and up under the bottom. So under 1, over 2, under 3, over 4, under 5, over 6, under 7, over 8, under 9, over 10, under 11, over 12, under 13, over 14, under 15, over 16, under 17, over 18. Yes, it's getting very repetitive. Under 19, over 20, under 21, over 22, and under 23. Okay. The weave is looking good. Does not appear to have any issues on the bottom. Bring that even and tear off the old one. There we go. Catch up with the chat, and then yellow is next. Alrighty. I still actually pay for a few things with checks. Not a whole lot, mostly when I mail something in. Yep, we usually had some sort of check scanner thing where it would read the magnetic ink to make sure it was a real check. Yep, I have also done transactions that way. Ka-chunk, ka-chunk. Hey, Haley Mouse, nice to see you on. Welcome to the stream. I believe I've seen you before, so welcome back. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's really showing up nicely. I think it's going to be really good to for streaming this. All right. Hey, good morning, Bane. Nice to see you on. We're getting pretty close to being done here. Alrighty. Okay, so just did green, so yellow is next. And we only have, after this set, 3 more regular warpings, and then we have 2 half ones. So we should definitely be done before 3 hours is up. Yellow is next. And yes, I do have a flag cut for this. After this, I'll have to cut 3 more. Okay, wrapped around a finger. Walking it back easily. Oh, this is oh so nice. I am very, very happy. But not the Monty Python. I'm so happy. Oh, that was no. I'm mixing up 2 scenes. The clap clap was from the Camelot thing where they're going around, and it cuts away to one scene where a guy is hung up in irons on a wall and he claps his hands a couple of times. But the I'm so happy is from the also Holy Grail movie, but the guy who's going, bring out your dead. Can you take him? He's not dead yet. I'm happy. Yes, he is. He'll be stone cold in a minute. And one more, and I'll be ready to walk it back and put the flag on. This one's timed pretty good. So apparently, I got enough sleep and other things. Yeah, this one thread on here. Let me back this off before it actually ties off and properly tie this knot. There we go. I'm doing well enough that my dexterity is working the way it's supposed to. They haven't nerfed my dexterity set today. And alrighty, let's put this flag on. And after I do this one, I gotta remember to cut 3 more. And there we go. And we're so close to being done, I feel it in my bones. Definitely got much easier to pass this through once I realized I didn't have to like get the end through like the eye of a needle. I could just like push through part of it and then pull the loose end out. The things you learn as you do things and learn to optimize. That's why theoretically, even though a new process and mature process should hopefully work relatively close to the same way, you develop optimizations that improve things overall, either quality or speed. Sometimes improving speed reduces quality, and on a few rare occasions, increasing speed improves quality. There are some processes that if you do them faster, they work better. You run them hotter, they work better, and whatnot, but I think there might be 1 extra knot here than I actually was shooting for, but I'm okay with that. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Keep those tamas rolling.
This is not quite a copyright infringement. Rawhide. I should be careful. I'm only about 8 minutes away from spicy time allowable. But so far, I haven't had anything switch to yellow on monetization that I'm aware of. I should probably check this one just to make sure. All right. That's about where that one should be secured. And yeah, after I'm done with this, I'll probably catch Flash Cast and see how Jeff did on it. I think that's his first time on Flash Cast. All right, so over 2, under 3, over 4, under 5, over 6, under 7, over 8, under 9, over 10, under 11, over 12, under 13, over 14, under 15, over 16, under 17, over 18, under 19, over 20, under 21, over 22, and under 23. Speaking of which, the 23rd is my next youngest sister, as in she is younger than me, but not the youngest sister I have. It is her birthday today. And wish you well. I know you're not going to watch these just because it's not something that you have time for or really interest in, but I do wish you a happy birthday and congratulations on being able to get everything arranged for your move, getting the old house sold and getting the new house in place. I know that's been really frustrating for you. So, alrighty, so 23 and 23, we are 92. We have 8 tama left to warp. Oh, I was going to catch up on chat real quick and also see how the monetization is doing. All right, so let's go to analytics. I think it's no, it's content that I want. And live. And reload, so it shows the current. Well, I'm still for green for monetization, though the thumbnail looks a little more greenish than it actually is. Oh, thanks everybody for the likes. We are at 25 likes, 24 live viewers, concurrent. As always, if you get a chance, please, and you like the content, please do the like, share, and subscribe stuff. As they say in the biz, all the YouTube stuff. All right, catching up on the chat real quick here. Hey, yay for not doing further injury. That's always good. Yeah, the replay, though, you have to be a member or you have to watch it on Rumble. So if you watch it on Rumble, you should be able to do it without a membership, if I remember right. It varies a little bit. Once the braid is done, it doesn't really have compression on anymore. And it'll kind of like extend out a little bit to the corners here once it's done. But also, it has enough tension on it as it's going along that it packs in fairly well. I haven't seen anything that looks horrible when I've finished it off. So actually, let me see if I can do it this way.
That way it's a little more centered. And Bane, as you can see, I've switched over to a zip tie here. And hopefully this will work much better when I do the loop around over the different wood parts, so it's not like twisting side to side as much as it used to. Hey, we've hit 2 minutes. I can swear now if I want to. I can do the actual F-bombs instead of the frick, frick, frick. Alrighty, so just did yellow. So green is next. Let's pre-stage. Oh, before I do that, I need to cut the flags. Do not let myself get distracted. And grab the roll of painter's tape and cut that. There we go. And this just needs to go into 3 pieces. There's 1. And there's 2. All right, all the flags that need to be cut are cut. And we're going to do a pair of green, a pair of yellow, a pair of green, a single yellow, and a single green. All right. And oh, I almost pulled that out. Okay, I'm getting a little bit of gotta get their itis. I should back that off a little bit because that's where you get mistakes. Fortunately, I'm just driving a stream and not a car. The collisions usually don't result in physical injury, but depending on the type of collision you get, you might wind up in worse condition or you wish you had physical injury, but I don't think we're likely to get anywhere near any of those. As far as I know, I am unaware of any classified secrets, so I can't lab them in contravention of whatever. And I've never been in the military, technically I am in the government as a constable, but I've never been given access to anything classified, so I'm not under those particular rules for leaking it. So I don't have the capacity to screw up that badly on that front, but I'm sure there's other ones I could do that would be horrible. But I don't really feel like doing any of them because I'm enjoying the channel, I'm enjoying the chat, I'm enjoying braiding, I'm enjoying having fun. Let's just keep doing that. I'm enjoying sharing this with lovely people. And the flag is in place. Walk it back here. Not feeling any tension issues. Looks good. Snug there. And let's just magnet it in place. Clean cut. And let's warp this through. Okay. Kept a nice good grip on it. Didn't lose any tension. That is looking a little, not too bad. Let's see, can I reach the bottle? Yeah, I can. Just misted it a little bit. Make it easier to tie off the knot. There we go. And okay. And knot 1, nice and clean. And knot 2, nice and clean. I'm hoping using 4 knots instead of 3. That was 3. Will make it so at the end they don't come untied quite so easily. And that one isn't wanting to play nice this time around. All right, let's make sure that Everything is okay. There we go. And why is that one? There we go. Now they're all on the appropriate sides. One more here. When I was undoing the mistie, that one didn't get undone properly. There we go. And after this one, we have a yellow and a green pair, and then a half yellow, half green, and we will be done. Dun 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 dun. No, I have no sense of rhythm. My singing voice sucks. And I have random musical stuff float through my head. And usually I can't remember the lyrics properly, so. It's like I'm using a Shakespeare generator. Way back in the dawn of computer time, somebody made like a little program, very low res graphics. Basically, it's just text with like 2 or 3 colors, and it would put forth, type up the proposition that an infinite number of monkeys on an infinite number of typewriters could randomly hit the keys and eventually reproduce the entire works of William Shakespeare. And what it would do is it would do like some random letters, and then it would start into a Shakespeare quote for enough to make it recognizable, and then switch back to kind of randomish letters. And it's like, oh, so close. But not a very big program or anything like that. Not anything you could really do. It was like random for the Shakespeare quote it would do. Or not. It wouldn't do random, but I'm sure that if you looked in the code, it had all the text already pre-written. It just controlled how it was displayed on the screen. There we go. But my understanding is that's also a misunderstanding of how randomness works. Just because something random doesn't mean you'll eventually get every single combination that might exist. But I suppose theoretically on infinite you might, but only because theoretically with infinites you can get every answer, not just whatnot. But one of the things that has come up before in different contexts is people being able to see when something is supposed to be random, and it looks random to humans, but when you actually analyze it, it's not random. It's essentially a human doing stuff where, that's what I like in statistical process control for manufacturing and whatnot. When you analyze stuff and use software to make sure that you've done it right, you will occasionally get stuff that looks like it's random information or whatever, or random variation, natural random variation, but it's not. It's a human mind deciding that you need to have sort of like an even spread across a range of numbers, and they semi-randomly assign that, but they fill out too much because randomness is not even, so to speak, even though the human mind wants to do that. And you can kind of tell when somebody's been quote unquote cheating with the numbers. Okay, we are I'm going to do one more and then I'll catch up with chat. All right, so this is going to be our last double yellow. All right. Tongue are pre-staged. Just about the final mist down. or let me confirm. I just did. Yes, I just did green. I am doing yellow. Okay. And do not get distracted. Do not get distracted. I do have to say, experience does make a lot of this stuff easier. Because when I first started streaming, there is no way I have been able to keep up this level of chatter and commentary. My brain would just been stalling out, going, what to talk about, but and I still hear a cat scratching on the door. Eventually, we probably should wind up replacing some of these doors. One of the things I'd like to do is they make cat doors that respond to the identity chips that cats have, so that let's see. Sorry, I got a thread that's there we go. Partially pulled out of a knot. It shouldn't be, and I need to. Okay. Anyway, they've got like cat doors that are designed to respond to your cat's identity chip. So when they get their head like in the door, it opens for them. They get through it, and closes up after them. So it's just your cat and not like the neighborhood fox or a raccoon to come through. And we tried using one of those on the interior door for our roommate's cat, so she could get in and out of her room and not be attacked by the other cats. But she did not respond well when she would get close to it and it would open up. And also the few times that we did get her to go through it, and I think she tried once or twice on her own, the cat that liked attacking her followed her through the door. So unfortunately, we can't really use that for the one cat that comes up here, so he would be able to get to the places he wanted to go safely and not have the other cat go after him. Though the other cat that does go after him at times is Cuttlebug, who, as we have said earlier in the stream, is not that smart, so it might work for him, but the other cat that would follow the other, the one cat through behind it before it could shut, is also likely to want to go into Survey's room, and that would not be good because he would complain, he would not be able to get out, and they would probably wind up fighting as a result. And the cat that's the problem with the door, his name is Felonius de la Croix y Sergio Mendez. And we got that from a skit that a friend of mine did called The King of Horde Hill. It's like the King of the Hill type skit done in the SCA environment, and the Horde in question being the Great Dark Horde in the SCA. And if you're in the SCA and you've seen King of the Hill, it's extremely hilarious. If you haven't, it may not be hilarious, but one of the person that Hank's niece is pining after for in the show is named Felonius de la Croix y Sergio Mendez. He's a fencer. So anyway, we found out that because of his attitude that and he had a stylish tuxedo patterning, that we would call him Felonius de la Croix y Sergio Mendez. Of course, we only refer to him as Felonius because he's a thug. He's probably the best human socialized cats because he just doesn't care. He does what he wants, but he kind of goes after some of the other cats because he wants to play with them in a way they don't like being played with. So have to be careful on that. Alrighty. And our last double yellow. So after this one, I can take all the flags off. Just look over, double check. Yep, there are only 4 tama left to go. All right. And behind and under 1, over 2, under 3, over 4, under 5, over 6, under 7, over 8, under 9, over 10, under 11, over 12, under 13, over 14, under 15, over 16, under 17, over 18, under 19, over 20, under 21, over 22, under 23, and over 24. Okay. And alrighty. Let's take both of these flags off. There we go. And all right. Oh, I was going to catch up on chat. Let me do that real quick. I'm also using a larger D-ring than I've used on the other ones. This is a 1 3/8 across here. The other ones I do are, I believe, 1 1/4 or 1 inch. I'll have to double check what I've been ordering. Yes, slightly bigger D-ring. Okay. Not sure exactly what the configuration you're thinking of is, but it helps that they slide easily, and the tension from the Tama kind of pull it up near the top. I've seen it, but I never really played it. I don't remember. In the arcades, one of the games I liked was Tempest. DOS, Disk Operating System. I am not old enough to remember 8-inch floppies, but I do remember the 5 1/4 floppies. One of the reasons I have the ISP I do is, I have a Gmail account, but I have an ISP I use strictly because they have a NetBSD shell that you can use for browsing Usenet and stuff like that, and reading emails and whatnot. So if I need to see it as a graphical thing, I just bounce it over to my Gmail account. But I really like it. I'm sorry to hear that. One of the games that I bought it originally from the vendor, but they went through Steam only recently, and I don't know what the problem is, but somewhere around Windows 10, the game just became unplayable. It's super slow, it's not responsive, and I went from being like really good at it. It's called Snood, and it's like the Neo Geo where you like shoot a round thing or whatever, and if it matches up color wise, in this case it's like color and pattern wise, then they disappear and you clear it out. But yeah, it's a simple game, fun to play, but I can't play it anymore. Yep, that's how you can tell when something's either random or pseudo random, as opposed to when a human has generated what they think is random. Nice. One of the first things I did when I was learning to program BASIC was doing the old line 10 or whatever. It's like, you do something, add 1 to it, display that number, and then at the end it's go to go to 1, and then you keep cycling, adding 1 on. It just keeps displaying higher and higher numbers. And it was just a simple computer, so it would only go so fast, and you could just Control C out of it any time or escape or whatever. So it wasn't like a runaway process. But yeah, as a kid, we had fun with when my dad would do that, and we'd let it run and run and run, see how large the number we could get. Whoops, sorry. I remember CPM. I had a Sanyo MPC 1150 computer that my folks had, and I did a fair amount of word processing on there. Yes, the old trash 80s. When I was 8 years old, I was actually in a local Billings, Montana computer store's TV commercial for the Commodore PET. There are pets, and then there are pets. Personal computers from the Byte Shop. Had me, my dad, my mom, and my mom's Maltese dog, all looking longingly at the computer. I also played games on the Atari 400 and the Atari 800, but they weren't mine. They were at a computer store. They didn't mind too much when the kids came in, would play it occasionally. I also had the Timex Sinclair 1000, which is something ZX81 in England, before Timex Sinclair bought them out. It looked like a doorstop. Sorry, still catching up here. Almost caught up. Alrighty, so I have one more double to do and then 2 singles. Let's get her done. Pretty good because the painter's tape I'm using to hold down my tommel while I'm tying the knot off is just about lost its adhesiveness. Okay. So this is the last of the 12 threads at a time. I'm not going to worry about misting it down because we're almost done. And back here, whoops, stubbed my toe. Not horribly, but still moderately annoying. Okay. And go. And 2. And 3. And 4. There we go. All right, walking it back here. And time for the last flag. Flag is in place. Walking it back, tension's feeling good. And magnet's in place. And snip. Bring it on through. And there we go. Tie this one off. And I think what I'm going to do that's different than what I did like the last couple of times, instead of on the single ones, tying off the 6 on the 6 threads on the leader knot, and then walking to the end, cutting the other end off, feeding it through, and then walking back with the 6 I've got and tying them separately. I think I'm going to go ahead and take a piece of painter's tape and try and put it on there and be very careful on my walk back. And that way I can tie them all together as one, make it a little easier to tie. So let's make sure we're not snagged here. All right. So I'll take the roll of tape when I go back for the next one. And I am just going to go ahead and quickly do this in the 2 singles and get them done together, and then I'll catch up on chat. All right. That looks like it's in a good spot. And oh, I do apologize. I did not upload the high-res picture from the end of the last stream yet on the community page. I'll try and remember to do that today along with the high-res pic from this one. I got to remember to take them at a resolution that will actually be small enough to... Okay, so under 1. Okay, so over 2, under 3, I might have a little bit of a tensioning issue on that one. Okay, over 4, under 5, over 6, under 7, over 8, under 9, over 10, under 11, over 12, under 13, over 14, under 15, over 16, under 17, over 18, under 19, over 20, under 21, over 22, under 23, over 24, and under 25. All right. And bring this one up even. And top one here needs a little bit more of a roll down there. Let's go ahead and pull the 2 flags off. Once we are done with them. All right, so now I'm going to do 1 yellow and 1 green. Only Tama. Let's see. Let's go ahead. All right. So Tama is here. So grab a painter's tape. This may not work, but if it doesn't, it's not a big issue. I can always do it the other way. Cut stuff off. All right. So tape is there. All right, so I'm doing yellow. I'm only doing 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and I'm leaving 6 there. So I'm going to pull these out, and I'm just going to I will just take there we go, that's out of the way. All right, so I got 6 here.
2. So yep, it is indeed 6. All right, they're even on this end. Loop around the finger. Walk it back here. Okay, tape on it here. All right, that should hold. All right, so I'm going to walk this back. Do not need a flag. Go over here and cut there. And oops, I lost grip on one of them. Let's go ahead and pull them back. Just make sure we're nice and even. All right, there we go. And pass it through here. And the fun part is going to be seeing if I can walk back far enough that I can reach the other end and the tama. Because I realized that I'm a little asymmetrical here, but yes, I was able to pull it free. Let's go ahead and get the ends all even up with each other. Alrighty. It's a little more work than I was expecting, but I think less than overall expected. All right, so I'm at the spot I need to be to tie it off. And come on, come on, come on. All right. And okay, knot 1 is done. And let's just confirm. Tension looks good. 3 more knots, and I can roll it up. And there's 1, and 2, and 3, and 1 more, and almost there. Come on, you can do a good knot. There you go. Hold tension even. Let's go ahead and get this one where it's supposed to be. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and do the lark's head knot here. All right, there we go. Now, because there's a little bit of a gap here, I'm going to go ahead and do the other one, and then I'm going to do like 1 or 2 moves just to kind of set everything so nothing shifts. All right, so I am going to not set this last tama where I do the others. I'm going to set it where I was able to tie it off on the other one. All right, so all right. So we are going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Go ahead and take these. Let's see, make sure that I'm actually only pulling those. And pull those out. Let's see, I do have, yep, I grabbed, missed one here. Let's go ahead and pull that one. Okay. All right, so I'm seeing, okay, I got 6 there. I'm only seeing, okay, there we go, there's the other one. Nice, we do have 6 out there. Hopefully I don't have any cross-around issues. So let's make sure they're nice and even before I start. Okay. And I'm seeing 6 of them that all got the same length. A couple loop arounds. Walk them back.
And set them there, nice and secure. Walk back here. And go. Snip. And almost there, almost there. Yes, we are almost there. Okay. And yep, they're coming through the way they're supposed to. And let's see if I can reach the spot I need to reach to end off here. Okay, there we go. And make sure I'm not snagging on anything I'm not supposed to be, which should still be the null set. There we go. The things I'm supposed to snag it on. And go. And not one. And not two. And not three. And not four. All right, let's roll this one up and we will be set up. Like I said, I'm going to do like one or two moves just to make sure that everything is in place. All right, so that's about the right spot. Okay, there we go. All right, so okay, I'm going to position these to where they are the same on both sides. And then I got to do a coma slide because I'm using the back end as a reference. Make sure our angles are correct. I'll catch up with the chat once I get these repositioned. And I will bring up the pattern. Now, admittedly, I'm just going to be doing the one move and just give me a little bit of space from the tip or the start or the flat start or whatever. The beginning. Okay. And let's get the top here on the left. Almost there. I'm not going to stream me putting the cones away. Basically, I'm just going to pull them out, wrap the thread up around them, and put them in their plastic bags and put them back in the box they came in until I figure a good way to store them. All right, so let me go to play. All right, back to one. All right, and gonna have to probably minimize the size a little bit. Just check the count here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, yep, so I'm on 11 instead of 9. All right, so let me catch up real quick. See where missed a lot of chat. Okay, all right, I think I'm back to where I stepped away. Finishing up on the computer discussion. Do masterpiece to tell the 30s. Not much arcade. Okay. Yeah, I finally started using a regular controller for some games recently, but I used to just do only keyboard. I did occasionally do the joysticks with the arcades and whatnot. The arcade I used to video arcade I used to go to when I was a kid in Idaho, Boise, Idaho, it's still there. They've got a carousel ride in the middle of it. It's called Pojo's. It did change location. Yep, Luggables, I think they were called. And I have used a couple of those. All right, Bane, we should be finishing up relatively soon here. Yeah, the ones over here are not, they're only hanging off one side. They're not through the weave yet, which is why I'm going to do the first couple of moves just to make sure. Hey, Southern Colorado SLP, nice to see you on. All right, so here is the braid. Not doing any exchanges or reversals right away. So, and as you can see, these are a bit longer. Last couple of braids, I've only been counting to 9. On this one, I'm going to count to 13. All right, so grab the sword here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, or 11, not 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 over 3. And yep, the last one is there. And some of these need a roll down before I can do this move because they're hitting the rail because they're too short. I'd show you, but I need to move the camera. But it'll be set up for Tuesday night. And there we go. And pass this on through. Oops. Need a coma slide first. I'll do it on the left real quick, and then after I do the move, I'll do it on the right. Yeah. And now I can do this move. Pass it over here. And before I do the top half, I'll do the coma slide here. Oops, got one pinched in between. Lift that up, there we go. And hold the sword the right direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Definitely going to need to file my nails again. Pass that on through to the other side. Oops. Got one stuck on this side too. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And passing this on through over to here. It's going to need an unroll as well. And actually, I can go ahead and remove that. There we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Checksum looks good for that too. And pass that on through over to here. And theoretically, everything's locked in. I will do one more move just to be on the safe side. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Checksum is good. This needs a little more of an unroll. I think we'll be good on that side for now. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Checksum looks good. And passing that on through over to here. All right, so I will have a shop stream this afternoon for members only in my garage. Probably start at about maybe 3 p.m. Eastern time, and the next regular braiding stream will be Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Checksum is good. Passing on through. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 on top. Checksum is good. There we go. Alrighty. So this braid is officially ready to start. As you can see, we got reasonably good here. Let me go ahead and bring it in a little closer. It looks like I got to clean the lens. Let's do it. Yeah, about there. And that. I think I might want to spring for a lens that is manual focus, but it's controlled. Yeah. Controlled by computer commands rather than having to manually adjust the rings. All right, so let me go ahead and move the camera down so I don't have to tweak the lens, just bring it to where it's in focus. All right, there we go. We are officially ready to start. I want to thank everybody who came around and watched the setup here. I hope it was fun and entertaining for you. Let me go ahead and catch up with the chat, see if there's anything that I need to answer, and then we'll go ahead and end the stream. All right, let me see. All righty. All right, I think we're good here. So Kumihimo Steve, I hope that showed you how I got it to, yeah, still not exactly in focus. I'm sorry. Let me see if I can't tweak it a bit more. There we go. I think that's the best I can do for focus right now. Hey, Callie J, welcome to this stream. I think I've seen your name before. If not, welcome to your first live stream with us. If you have been here before, welcome back. Thank you, Gwen. I'm really happy with how it's starting out. It's a little longer on this side, but it's really close. It should easily even out once it's off the Taka-Dai. Thank you, Haley Mouse. Well, I will definitely be streaming everything that I do on this. Thank you for coming by, Laura. You have a good one. No, the smaller bundles are to give me the correct count for the pattern. It's just that for each color I need, some of them it's easy where I've got 2 of each. I can counterbalance where I can tie a tama on each end, but theoretically I could have done it all with those the smaller ones. I just would have had to do them that way. So it's a way to do a single tama add-on per color, because sometimes you have braids where you don't have enough to do, match your thumb on each one, especially have uneven color numbers. Whoops, I got a phone call, so I'll probably have to check the answering machine for that. All right, I think that's everything. Oh, I have not been keeping up with Rumble. I apologize. Let's see. Do not have anybody chatting there. It looks like we have 2 people watching. I apologize for not keeping up with the chat, Rumble peeps. All righty, so we are ready to go. Thank you very much, everybody. So everybody, as always, stay safe and happy braiding.